be a guy that knew what the blitz package was. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think Zadarius Smith is not hurt or nothing. He's on the injury report. It says personal. Yeah, I thought that was interesting, but it's like, man, you trade for a guy and he hurt, but he's not hurt. You know what I'm saying? It's just more so I think getting him up to speed.
Team wise.
Yeah, team
Yeah.
wise. And you know what, Walt? I think, we starting to show off today. I think the one thing I think about the Lions is they like well run organization now. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have when you come in here, you got to go through the process, bro. You know what I'm saying? A guy like we see Broderick Martin in the 21-day medical evaluation window now. You know what I'm saying? He Melifonwu, we've hearing that those two things coming out of camp, and it's like before maybe it's a new thing the NFL wants you to do that or something, like when you report an injury, it just seems like they have everything scripted the right way. You know what I'm saying? And it just trickles down. Like Zadarius Smith said, yeah, they told me basically be ready on blitz package and stuff like that. So it just seemed like this team just go about their business, man, the right way. And I think it just trickles down from the practice to the walkthroughs through how, Brad Holmes is handling his team. You know what I'm saying? It's a perfect storm, man. We get started this week. I'll let you get started, with your opening stuff. But we got a good thing going here, man. I think the narrative has changed big time all across the country on this team, man. I think now people like, look, even D'Amico Ryan's head coach of the Texans even said, man, listen, we got to play when you play the Lions is attention to detail. You know what I'm saying? They do every shift, every motion, every stance, every situation. The Lions make you think as a team the traditional 3rd and 3 is not a traditional 3rd and 3 when you play the Lions. You know what I'm saying? Now you got to
Right.
watch everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's so hard to defend. Well, I think the Texans gonna have all kind of problems, man. Trying to do
Yeah.
something.
I mean, I think most defensive coordinators want their defenses to play fast. And what's the best way to neutralize a defense from playing fast? Make them think. If you're busy thinking, you're not reacting.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the whole thing about it. We make you think defensively. Offensively, we make you think, and it slows down everybody. If you notice, who was the last team that really jumped on us early?
I
What,
think
Baltimore
Tampa.
last year?
Oh yeah, yeah. You say yeah, Baltimore,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, well, like the game just got away from us.
The Green Bay. I remember Thanksgiving, Green Bay.
Thanksgiving, yeah.
That was the last game I can remember. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but for the most part, we run the ball,
Mm-hmm.
we play opportunistic defense,
Yeah.
and offensively, we give you enough looks coverage wise in the secondary. Now that AG has his corners, he's got 2 elite safeties, so that's making his job a hell of a lot easier. Not to say it was ever easy on any level, but it makes it a lot more vulnerable to do. And he's now in a situation where he's got guys making plays. Kirby Joseph playing at the highest level he's been at in his career, his short career.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Branch is looking like one of the 10 best football players in the league right now. You
Mm-hmm.
could even argue maybe top 5 defensive players in the league right now overall, pound for
Yeah.
pound, that is.
Yeah.
And offensively, like you said, we were discussing this in the pre-show, Goff isn't even really gotten hot yet. I mean, he was hot completion percentage wise,
But not
for a
not a
good
lot of
4
yards.
games.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about, like you said before, the 330, the 4 touchdown passes, the big plays downfield, no. But he hasn't had to do that.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing
That's
it
right.
through clean football and being efficient. He's accurate as hell. St. Brown, the connection him and St. Brown have together is amazing
Yep.
right now too. And I
Yep.
think they've
30 for
connected on
30.
what 37 straight
30.
targets now.
Yeah, 30 for
30.
30. That's
Yeah,
unheard of, man. So think about it. The
yeah.
last 30 times he's thrown in the ball, they get cooked up with a connection. You know what I'm saying? That's
Ooh,
money. You know what I'm saying?
they have a point differential of 110 plus
110.
110.
That's staggering, man. Oh
Yeah,
my
you
goodness.
don't
That's
you
the
don't
stat
see
of the
that
year.
often, man. You don't.
Right. Right. Right.
But
That's the stat of the year right there, Walt. I mean, even though they beat Texas, Texas, Tennessee 52-14, but the fact of the matter is you score 52 points and then only threw the ball. I mean, Jared Goff it was checking his time, checking his phone while he was playing quarterback. It was unbelievable how we just dismantled that team and barely even broke a sweat, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to me, that just speaks volumes. And then too, remember, I just go back. I always keep receipts, you know what I'm saying, on every like sports, you know what I'm saying. And Dan Campbell said it from the beginning. While he said that we're gonna be able to beat you all three phases of the game. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's defense, offense, special teams, and they have used special teams to their advantage. I really do believe that. I think the trick plays like fake punts and all that kind of stuff. I think that that's part of who they are. And you see other teams now trying to do it. You see Cincinnati, what they're fake trying to go for it, and try. I mean, and I agree with Zach Taylor's call. I believe Zach Taylor was trying to say, hey, man, if we can't get a yard against the Ravens, we don't even deserve to be in the conversation. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. They're a desperate team. They need to go for it. But the Lions have had so much practice at it the last 3 years. You know what I'm saying? Where when we do it now, it's second nature.
it's
It's
not a
part of
gimmick to us. Like this is
exactly.
genuinely part of what we are, our structure offensively.
That's
And
right.
is
That's
other
right.
teams around the league are using it as a gimmick.
That's right.
Like
Yep.
these are teams that are 1, 2, maybe 3 games out of the playoff contention. And
Yeah.
now they feel like they got to do whatever they got to do to make things happen. You look at Cincinnati, man, and peace to Joe Burrow. He
Hmm.
balling. He
Yeah.
doing the
That's my
best he
guy.
can do.
Yep.
But if you and I don't we don't want to trail too far off because we get to talk about Cincinnati and they issues and this and that. But I just think that he doesn't get nearly the heat that a lot of these other quarterbacks get. And I
Yep.
understand that he did lead them to a Super Bowl. They didn't win it. They came within one pass down the sidelines to Jamar Chase from
Yep.
beating Stafford and the Rams. But outside of that Super Bowl run, like how much more have we seen from Joe? Joe hasn't even finished what, maybe
A
one
season.
season?
Yeah. One season since then. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's as a quarterback, all of this comes along with the money. How unfair it is to expect the quarterback to go out there and no matter what's going on defense, no matter who you're missing in your backfield, no matter who your OC is,
Yeah.
you're supposed to go out there and get it done. Now that sounds very extremely rare. I mean, irrational and unfair. But this is how we do the quarterbacks, and I just think that he's dodged a lot of it.
Yeah.
We've given guys like Josh Allen a ton of heat, and Josh Allen has actually done more. He hasn't reached the Super Bowl yet, but if you're talking about the overall body of work from Josh Allen, he's done more with way less
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
in Buffalo.
Yeah.
He's been asked to be the reason every game in, game out. And peace to Josh Allen too, because he's balling, not turning
Yeah.
the ball over this season. Got Buffalo looking like real contenders in the AFC. Could be their year, who
Mm-hmm.
knows? But all right, so back to our game, man. I want to
Yeah.
start out with the injury report.
Yeah.
Um, this is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Will Anderson, edge rusher, out, dealing with an ankle injury. Damian Pierce, backup running back, another big physical running back, right along with Joe Mixon. He's out dealing with a groin injury.
Yeah.
Wide receiver Nico Collins, former Michigan Wolverine, limited all week, questionable, hamstring. Second receiver Tank Dell, explosive, limited, questionable, back injury. Don't sound good for them boys right there, man. It
Mm-hmm.
don't. It don't. And then
Yeah.
you're talking about Jake Hansen, Jerry Hughes, veteran DN. He had a full week of practice. He's still questionable, dealing with a hip injury. Once you start talking about backs, hips,
Mm-hmm.
groins, significant parts of the lower body, man, it's going to be hard for players to play that game, let alone finish it. Just being honest about it. Former Lion Jeff Okuda, he had a full week of practice. He's also questionable, dealing with a quad injury. Edge rusher Aziz Al Shahir, he's actually not listed status wise right now, but he had a full week of practice dealing with a knee injury. DN Denico Autry did not practice. Don't have him labeled right now as far as his status game wise, but he's rested. Kenyon Green, guard, did not practice, shoulder injury. Like, this is Shaq Mason, the guard, Jared
Hmm.
Patterson, Laramie Tunsil, strong safety Jimmy Ward dealing with a groin injury.
Yeah.
I understand as Lions fans we have our injuries, but damn, like that's a
Yeah.
lot, man. That's a lot for any team to be dealing with. And then when you look at the fact that Houston has already, even with all these guys at full strength, you look at the defense, man. They're 30th in the league in passing touchdowns given up. That should be a green light right there for Lions when it comes to the betting.
Yeah.
We gonna get to
Yeah.
the betting, but we try to
Yeah.
give you guys and gals as many numbers to help y'all betting wise as possible. And considering the fact that the Houston Texans, while they haven't given up a lot completion percentage wise, they're 30th in the league in passing touchdowns given up.
Yeah.
That's not good. And they're also 12th in rushing yards given up.
Yeah.
So those are two areas I think of areas of concern for the Houston Texans, and could be two areas that our Lions can actually go out and exploit. That's just the defense right there. What do you think
Yeah.
so far? 'Cause I know you got the
Yeah.
Lions injury report, and I'll let you take it from here.
Yeah, yeah, we got the Lions here. Walt, real quick. Taylor Decker looks like not gonna play. That was a development on yesterday, and immediately I said to myself, we can make it work for a week or two, without Taylor Decker. You know what I'm saying? But it was a shock he kind of wasn't playing. So, what I think is interesting, Broderick Martin here is out. They got it with a knee, got him with a knee. Jalen Reeves Maben is out with neck injury. Fetu Malafanwu out with an ankle. I think that's interesting. He's showing up down the injury report. And Emmanuel Mosley, pectoral out. Very interesting. That has nothing to do with the reason why he's out. So that shows you that Manny Mosley's been practicing, because they said he got a pectoral now, even though that's not good either. You know what I'm saying when you say pectoral, but Malcolm Rodriguez, been phenomenal here as a stopgap. Not a stopgap, but just a guy who a good rotational linebacker. He's going to be out. Hope Rodrigo's back. In a couple weeks or whatever. And then Zadarius Smith, I thought was real interesting. Is on there questionable, but it's for personal reason. I think we opened the show talking about that. I don't think people have to worry he's not hurt or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, we knew all of these guys, pretty much, except for like Taylor Decker was really the guy that kind of made a shuffle and lineup. Now, I don't know if Sewell's going to play left tackle this week. I haven't heard that. I mean, remember, he has. He can go over to that side, and I'm super confident that everything will be all right. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
You
Personally,
think
I
so?
wouldn't. I think Lamar asked me about this yesterday, man. And shout out to Spirit of Detroit. I think that he asked me the same exact thing. Should they consider moving Panay over to left? I say you keep him at right, mainly because Will Anderson is their best front seven player, and he's not going to play.
Mhm.
So whoever you decide to throw at left tackle, whether it's, I don't know if you know per se right now, whether it's Dan Skipper, whether it's Source Daw. To me, the
Yeah,
plan will ultimately be whoever we start at left tackle, you have left guard help at least 20 to 30% of the time.
yeah,
And all I need you guys to do at left tackle and left guard, just handle the C gaps, just handle the B gap from time to time. Frank is going to handle the interior of the offensive line. Panay can handle his side by himself. And we're going to pretty much put forward most of our run fits behind Panay Sewell. If there was ever a game where you're going to go out there and you're going to ride your right tackle or ride your left tackle, today is it. Not today, but tomorrow's it. I would definitely game plan everything around Panay Sewell. We're going to get more pulling going on. We're going to get Panay out in space. We're going to get Panay to the second level, getting him some running starts at some of these linebackers.
hmm
And for lack of a better phrase, we're going to beat the shit out of Houston.
yeah,
That's how I think we need to go about it, man. Will Anderson ain't playing. They already struggling against the pass. What do we do best? We go out there and we squeeze the life out of you. Go out there, run the football at them boys
hmm
early on, to the
yeah,
point that get them behind the sticks, get them behind on the scoreboard. Now you're playing into a situation where C.J. Stroud already been the most pressured quarterback in the league.
yeah,
Laramie Tunsil may not play, and he's been ass this season. Not call him ass as a player, but he hasn't been good at all. The offensive line hasn't been good. Kenyon Green hasn't been good. Like, to me, this is a game that's set up for us to not have a hiccup. We have our issues,
Yeah, but
but all of the issues Houston have, we should be able to exploit them.
I would feel more comfortable because I think we're a little bit more stronger up the middle. I feel more comfortable, man. Penny playing left tackle. I was only reason why I would say, oh yeah, Lamar just said it. Only reason why I say that, Walt, is this is a kind of weird game where we can't allow our quarterback to get hurt either. You know, so that type of thing. And I think you playing with fireman when you don't have, like, you putting Dan Skipper out there at left tackle. I'm not comfortable with that at all. You know what I'm saying? I think he more of a side where it's not a threat. You know, your quarterback gonna be getting hit. I get what you're saying, the pass rush thing, but still, whoever is their next guy up. I don't have the depth chart in front of me with the Texans, but I don't know. I just feel comfortable with Penny. Just protect our core. We just want no injuries this game. We don't
What
need
about the
no.
right side?
Yeah, but I think that it's
What are we
different
gonna do there?
because you could. I feel more comfortable with that side of the. Excuse me. I feel more comfortable with just Skip playing right tackle, man. You know, if it came down to it, to me. But hey, you know, crazier things have happened. I just don't think that we need to, you know. And then I think Lamar put Kobe Sorstar hasn't been, he hasn't really been suited up at all this year for some reason, which I liked him last year, but yeah, I don't get what the reason why he's barely been out there. And then Christian Mahogany is another guy um, that you know they drafted and they kind of bringing him back kind of slow, and you know, and I think he's not hurt. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm looking at their, yeah, I will seek a Christian Mahogany,
Yeah.
but they, that's kind, he's a guard though. Obviously he's not playing the tackle position, so yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see how it go. You know what I mean? We'll see how it go. I mean, either way, I just don't want no injuries. That's where I'm getting at with this whole thing. You
No,
know, don't
I
get.
get it. I think we still have to worry about Daniil Hunter out there,
Yeah, yep,
but I don't think any defensive coordinator would just line up their best edge rusher against Panay Sewell and say, I'm going to leave you right here all day. Even if Will Anderson played, Will Anderson doesn't want all of those snaps against Panay Sewell. And if I was a defense coordinator, I would definitely move my best edge rusher around. I just think that we schematically, they've had situations before where Decker was beat up, maybe missed a game or two since Panay's been there, and they've never moved him before. Their whole thing is next guy up. And can't really recall how many games we've had where we just gave up sack after sack after sack.
yeah,
It's usually a team effort. That's why I brought up being able to put the backup tackle in. Do I think Dan Skipper is great or anything to write home about? No. But this is where he earns his money. He's their utility guy for the most part. That's what he's
yeah,
there to do. And I think if you give him some help, because I don't want Sourcedall at left tackle either, because I don't think he's a tackle, period.
yeah.
He's a
No,
guard. I think he's a backup
right.
guard. But if you're telling
Mhm.
me, okay, Dan, Colby, all I need y'all to do is just protect the C gap,
Yeah,
protect the B gap.
yeah.
Panay, Frank, they got the right side of the offensive line. Because also Houston's not really that big either on the defensive line as
No,
well. That's another issue I think Houston's gonna have. And I said that prior to the season. Will Anderson, hell of a player. Added Daniil Hunter, hell of a move, but you're still light in the pockets. And that was an issue I had with the Rams as well. So yeah,
yeah.
I get it. I get it. I think a lot of times when a player is missing, we immediately want to move somebody around and this and that.
Hmm.
They haven't done it this season. What up, boy?
Yeah. He
Yeah,
said,
they haven't done it before. They just next guy up. We're gonna change the things schematically, and then on top of that, like I said, if Houston was at full strength, I say okay, maybe I consider it a little bit. But Houston got their own issues.
yeah, yep.
That that list of injuries,
That's a lot. That's a big chunk of their team is out. You know what I'm
that list longer than Malcolm X,
saying? That
and that was a long movie, man.
was a long movie. Huh?
So it's like I'm not letting what's going on with us dictate anything as far as our game plan right now. I think we're fine. I think Houston got enough issues going on. They're giving up the most pressures in the league. You're talking about CJ Stroud out there with two hurt wide receivers, one dealing with a back injury, one dealing with a nagging hamstring injury that he's been battling through for like the last 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Fact.
just think
Fact.
things are going our way. But all right, man, look at these numbers.
Yeah.
-3.5. I'm talking money, you talking money.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm a betting person, whether you're a Lions fan or not,
Yeah.
if you're a Houston Texans fan
Yeah.
and you say, man, listen, I'm a Texans fan, but I'm trying to make money off this game. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I personally would take Detroit to cover that -3.5.
Oh yeah. All day.
And I'm
No.
also going to take the over under.
Yep.
Because just because I think in games like this where there's so many replacement players in, you tend to have bigger plays. Replacements are replacements for a reason. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of times you get bigger plays in games like this. Jamison Williams is back. Houston Texans are also having issues at safety. This is a very fast track in Houston. I expect Jamison Williams to have a big game also, unless they feel like they got to freeze him out, but I don't. I think the attitude of this team now is you bound to see. We need to do a bet on that, man, and see what the
Yeah.
props are on that. That Jamison Williams scores the first touchdown in the game. Because I got a feeling they may do some play action and go deep to him early.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
that's a very fast track there in Houston. But yeah, I'm taking the over too. Because I think Detroit, they may crack 30 again.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Houston, I expect Houston to score some points unless they just completely fold against us, which is possible because another thing people aren't really taking into account is this is CJ Stroud's first primetime game as well. Now, he's been in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
They lost bad to Baltimore last year, but that's a young football team in Houston, and this is a big time primetime game also for them. We've been there before. If I'm not mistaken, we're undefeated in
Yeah.
primetime games now since we started getting them, since the
Yep.
NFL started liking us.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going Detroit to cover that -3.5, and I would take the over on that 48.5. I know you got your numbers, and also you got the money line on this game.
Yeah, the money line was man, I didn't write it down, sorry. But I could talk about what I feel right now first. I think I'm totally with you all. I think the Lions win this game going away. I mean, with no pushback at all. I don't see the Texans. I think not that you don't want to say it and discount your opponent. You don't want to say and be arrogant or anything like that. But it's just like I just like you said, I just don't think that they can beat the Lions right now. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I say we cover that spread. Obviously, the 3.5. Um, that's a respect line right there. If you more than a 3-point favorite on another team's field, basically that's saying that you're the better team. Basically, you know what I'm saying, and you should win
You don't
that.
think it could be bait from Vegas?
It could be. I
I don't.
mean,
I don't see Houston pulling the upset, but they are at home though.
yeah, yep. And I'm glad you asked about the money line. Hold on, I'm gonna have it for you here in a minute. According to DraftKings, but the money line was, boy, let's see here. Mm-hmm. Where we at here? Money line is minus. I thought it was -110. Um, yeah, I don't know why my joint is not cooperating. But anyways, yeah, I'm sorry, +170. Walt, that's the money line for Houston. So if you want to win some money, it's a little bit there, but not much. You know what I'm saying?
Not enough for you to. If you talking
Yeah,
about what +250,
exactly,
plus
exactly.
250,
Yeah, plus
I'd be willing to take
320.
that.
Plus
Yeah,
320. That's a bet you might want to
yeah.
take. But anyways, yeah, and I think it's gonna be an over game too. Walt. We were talking in the pre-show. I think that Goff is gonna finally be able to get his numbers up. You know what I'm saying in this one. That's how I feel about it. Because Goff been so efficient, but the passing yards haven't been there. Which I'm not complaining about. Hey, get the win, win how we've been winning, that's fine. But I think, he gonna be able to JG gonna eat on this game. I really do believe that Jameson Williams coming back. I just think too many weapons on our side to be able to handle us, you know what I'm saying, defensively. So yeah, I like it. I like this game. I like the spot we in. To me, I'm trying to stack as many W's right now as possible. By Thanksgiving, I want to be able to just be able to say we on cruise control. not too bad. You know what I'm saying? Because it's hard to flip the switch when you've been relaxing for a month and then try to get ready for the playoffs. So, but I do want to win, like you said. I think, like you said, total statement game. Again, we're gonna be able to show that it's no, this is real, man. What we doing? So I'm looking at 30 plus points. You know what I'm saying, for the Lions this week. So.
Yeah. I got 35-17 Detroit.
Mhm. Yeah, if I'm going to go on a limb, I'm gonna say Detroit wins this one 31-21.
What y'all think of the comment section?
Um,
Because I'm pretty sure everybody got their thoughts on the game, man. Yeah, like I
yeah.
say, it's not even about disrespecting your opponent. And I know when you throw numbers like that out there, people view it as disrespect. But let's be honest, man. Every game in the league isn't settled by 3 points, 4 points. There are teams that lose by 10 plus points. And honestly, when it comes to the whole betting, anything
Mm-hmm.
you start talking about 7.5, 8.5, 9.5 point spreads, start getting kind of disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when you saw who the hell was favored by, was it the Browns? No, the Giants. Yeah, the Browns were favored earlier in this season over the New York Giants by, was it 14.5?
Yeah, something like that. 13, 12 and a half or
Yeah,
something like
it
that.
was
It's crazy.
weird. The Giants did win too.
Yeah.
Giants did win that game too, but you don't
Mm-hmm.
see those type of spreads that often. That's why
Yeah.
sometimes, like, I'll be honest, you can't trust Vegas, man.
Yeah.
Because when I looked at that game between those two teams, you have a point spread that wide in either side, in either direction.
Yeah.
Neither one of those teams should have been favored by 12, 13, 14 points, man. It was
Mm-hmm.
crazy. And I think sometimes betting wise, Vegas will set you up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's if you
And
want to take the bait.
we look at it as video games too, like you know what I'm saying, because sometimes people don't really uh look at, like you said, it's an actual, I think somebody said, like Bruce Thomas said in the comments, like these guys are professionals. I mean, yeah, the team might not be very good, but just think about the average NFL game is decided by 7 points or less every week. You know what I'm saying? When you get the Lions doing what they're doing and beating people down, I think that's what makes it so dominating, man. Everybody sees that. It's okay. It's one thing to be playing the Titans and they're not very good, but when you score 52 on that team, man, I mean, Tom Brady said that's what we were doing when the Patriots are really good. You know what I'm saying? They would put 40 on teams, you know what I'm saying, and know that we're better. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, it's a business, as far as
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah, I know
I said
Vegas.
it. I said it.
Yeah, because some of these bet, like we gonna talk about the touchdown thing. We could probably pull that up, Walt. You want to pull the
Let's matter of fact, let's give these people a couple examples of what we're talking about. We can hit these games real quick. I know you had one. I had one.
Mhm.
These types of games are what we talking about. Like this Giants Carolina game. Giants minus 6.5 over under 40.5. We talking about an across the water game, 9:30 a.m. tomorrow morning, between two teams that aren't very good. Why in the hell is there a 6.5 point spread in either direction in that game?
Yeah,
When we probably looking at a 12-10 game
yeah,
over there across the water.
yeah.
It all
And
comes
the
down to,
Giants
whether
can't.
people want to take the bait or not.
Yeah, and shout out to Steven Sanchez. I ain't trying to dish your Giants, man, but I six and a
Well,
half.
Steven, though.
Yeah, but I don't think the Giants they couldn't score. They couldn't score 20 points if you put the ball on a 1 yard line. Three straight drives they couldn't score. That's how bad the Giants offense is. You know what I'm saying? So, like you said, that's a sucker bet right there. You know what I mean? Because it's like, dude, I don't think neither one of these teams can beat each other by 6.5 points. You know what I mean? Just because of the offense and what they put out. In this game though, we talk about the game period. I like Carolina. I think Carolina, maybe Bryce Young. I think it might have been a good thing to maybe bench him for a little while to kind of let him find the speed in the game and see, you know what I'm saying? It just sometimes it's better to watch from the sidelines after you've been in there. You know what I'm saying? Sort of like in baseball when they send you down to AAA for a couple weeks and then you come back and then you're a different player. You know what I'm saying? I think that might be the case with Bryce Young. You know what I mean? Even though he's got to get better personnel around him, you know what I mean, offensively. Um, I just like I said, I like Carolina in this one. I think they're playing in Germany. Why the hell we playing a game in Germany? I have no idea why they pushing that agenda. The London games are bad enough. The London games suck. I hate the London games. I remember the Lions played a couple under Jim Caldwell. We played the Chiefs. I think one time it was terrible. We won
Oh
the
yeah,
game, I
dude.
think, but
The
it's just
The Chief Dolphin game was terrible last year.
yeah, yep. The field they're not equipped for NFL. Remember, Jordan Love got hurt
Yeah,
over there in at the beginning of the season. The field they even said it's more for soccer. Obviously nothing against
yeah.
soccer. I like soccer. My
It's
son
not
plays
built for
soccer,
football
but
cleats.
it's just not built for football, man. You know what I'm saying? And they're trying to push this narrative with the NFL. I don't get that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they, like I said, you've been hearing that they want to get a team over there, but
Yeah.
miss me with that, man. I'm 9:30. Hey,
Listen, this is a
you,
crazy game.
yeah.
Crazy game. I want to get everybody in the comment section thoughts on this, man. Because Bruce Thomas, and thank you for saying that. Because I kind of was thinking 12 to 10. I always feel like overseas games are always overseas because they are trying to promote as a business. The NFL, I'm saying, but you may be right on this one. I'm going to take that off my slip right now. It's
Mhm,
crazy, man. I would have. Bruce Wright is all about the money, man. It's all about the money. Personally, I would stay the hell away from this game.
mhm.
I
Yeah,
understand, but some people may want to parlay it or whatever. But I would
yeah,
stay away from it because it's too crappy, man. It's two bad teams.
yeah.
It's two quarterbacks who can't really find their way. Now maybe Bryce Young needs this. Maybe he needs to get from over here in the United States. He can get over there on a neutral field in a better
Mhm,
situation against. But then no, because the Giants got the defense. I'll agree with
mhm.
you. I'll take the Giants in this. The Giants have, even though they're kind of crappy, they're crappy at the
No,
quarterback
I got
position.
I got Panthers. I'm
Yeah.
taking Carolina in
Are
this
you
one.
taking Carolina? Okay.
Yeah,
Got you. I'll go with the Giants, considering the fact the Giants do have the better defense.
yeah,
Um, got the better receiving core. Can they expect something out of Daniel Jones in this situation? It's possible, considering the fact that he's isolated in a different situation as well. So it's
yeah.
just the game is just so
Hold
expand
on here.
brand. You
I
knew
see
the
a
capital.
comment. I see a comment I want to address. I see a comment I want to address. I see Joseph said, "Our expanded brand. Are you new to capital? What the hell is capitalism? I have no idea what that is. If it's anything political, don't even miss me with that. I don't even want to talk about it. So explain to me what it is, because I don't know what it is. And yeah, call me a dummy, whatever. Expand the brand. Are you new to capital? I don't even know what that means, bro. I'm talking football. So go ahead,
Yeah,
Walt.
I don't know either. But yeah, Bruce. Out of all the bad sections of football we got in this game, Panthers
Yeah,
offensive line, Panthers defense, young, inexperienced quarterback, Giants offense can't seem to score worth a damn.
yeah,
The Giants defense is the one constant
yeah,
that you can depend on in this game. So I'll take
yeah,
Giants. I'll take Giants to cover that 3.5 because it's kind of difficult to not cover that 3.5, even if it's a game between two bad teams.
yeah,
I'll take the Giants to win by 4+.
yeah.
That's no problem. How much
Okay,
I would bet down on it? I don't know if you got the money line on this or not, but I
yeah,
still wouldn't bet too much money down on it because I don't even think there's much. The money line can't be too deep on this for people to want to bet that much money on it.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, so you
yeah,
got Panthers. You got Panthers to cover that 3.5.
yeah. Panthers. It just uh Bruce Thomas. And I agree with him. I like the Giants defense. I've been on record to say Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, Thibodeau. I love the Giants defense. It's just that's not the problem with that team, man. I don't know. I don't know. You think they should be better than they are. It's real. It's interesting what's going on with that team, man. Because you would have thought three
Jaden
years
Daniels
ago,
ain't there.
man, it's like something is not right with the Giants, man. I can't put my
We
finger on
know
it.
what's
So
not right.
yeah, I
We
mean, I
know
know what
what's
it
not
is.
right,
Daniel Jones,
man.
of course, he sucks. I get that. You know what I'm saying?
You
But
know,
man, you would think,
but
you
your
know,
game,
the,
though.
the cup. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, we ain't really got to get this game no more thought anymore. Who cares what the money line is on this one? Because this is a terrible game. But
What about
yeah,
Broncos Chiefs? Because you got an
that's
interesting
my
thought on
game.
this.
Yeah, yeah. I think that the Chiefs are vulnerable, man. I do. I think they're the bet. They're better than the Lions only because they're undefeated right now. You know what I'm saying? And they should have lost last week, in my opinion. Gave Tampa just fizzled out at the end. So I'm putting it like this. I mean, Broncos been getting real disrespect. Remember last week I was on the bandwagon like, hey, they what was it, 11? Wasn't over and under. No, the point spread was 10.5, I think, against Baltimore
Oh, against
last
Baltimore,
Sunday. Yeah, and they
it
wound
was
up
or was
losing
it 9 and
34
a
to
half?
10. Yeah, it was nine
It
and
was
a
what
half, and
nine and
they
a half or
lost.
10 and a half, yeah. And I did,
Right.
it's hard to beat an NFL team that bad, man.
Hmm.
And then midway through the first half, watching that game, I'm like, yeah, I was
Yeah.
wrong as hell.
Yeah.
Baltimore went up, but Baltimore also has a history of playing down to the level of the competition.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
smash
Yeah.
the elite teams easy. Then
Right.
they'll have games where they'll struggle and lose to the Giants. People forget they lost to the Raiders early in the season. Who else
Right.
did they lose to? They lost to another bad team early in the season, right along with the Raiders. So they have those type of games where they just lay an egg and leave you walking away saying, what the hell happened? And then on top of that, the defense ain't nowhere near as good this season.
Yeah.
Mike McDonald is gone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
Of course.
they got their issues. And now it's like a whole lot of Lamar Jackson playmaking out there. So we got to question if that team can get anywhere with that brand of football, considering the fact that they didn't get anywhere with that brand of football when the defense was elite. The
Yeah.
defense been top 5 since he been there. The defense was the number 1 defense in football last year.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. I just want to address something because on this show, I'm not going to tolerate any bullshit. Okay. This Joseph
Oh,
Olsen
what
guy,
done happened?
he's saying NFL brand. He's commenting what I asked him, and he says political. What the F? I'm not turning anything political. I'm just asking him. I mean, I don't know if he's smart enough to understand what I'm saying. You explain to me what capitalism is. That's all I ask. It's not political. I don't want to talk anything political. That's the reason why we do this show because I don't want to talk about any outside rhetoric other than football. Okay. So miss me with the comments. That's not what this show even is doing. Okay. So all these question marks, I'm not turning anything political. So Joseph Osteen or who I can't even pronounce the last name. So just so we can be clear, just if you even care, explain to me what capitalism is. That's all I ask. Okay, I can carry on. See, I'm already irritated, man. I'm already irritated. Let's go.
No, we good. It ain't nothing like that. I'm pretty sure it ain't, but we all good, man. Bruce says, dot, 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 dot. The problem is their defense will score more than the offense, and you're 100% right. They paid the wrong man, and that wrong man walked out the door as Philadelphia. Yeah, I was watching watching that game last week. Like, so you telling me that this man was the problem? Not even the problem. Looked at that situation, and this is what these bad teams find themselves in, where you
Yeah,
pay the quarterback just because he's a quarterback, when it was obvious that Saquon Barkley was the better player. And I
yeah,
get it, quarterback matters more than running back, blah, blah this, blah, blah that. As a
yeah,
player, strictly for their position, pound for pound, Daniel Jones is not in the same stratosphere as Saquon Barkley.
yeah,
But you paid this man after that phony playoff run. Remember when Dayball first got there, they neutered this man. They didn't let him throw the football. He had
yeah.
what, 14 rushing touchdowns that year and only
Yeah,
threw for
something
10,
like
I
that.
think.
Yeah,
Your
yeah,
quarterback only threw for 10 touchdowns and you gave him a brand new contract. Come back the very next season. Then the next off season, you play your running back who was there through all of this bullshit. You play him on his money. Saquon was never asking to be the highest paid running back in football. All Saquon was asking was to be compensated fairly for being there, and you play him and let him walk. And now you still stuck in the same situation you've been stuck in for the past 4 years. It's
yeah,
crazy. He's the problem. He's always been the problem. And I was a kind of a Daniel Jones apologist in the very beginning because his rookie season, he showed some flashes. Running the football, throwing the football. Then I had to go back and look at the success he had as a rookie. Most of the success he had as a rookie came in these games where the Giants weren't winning worth a damn. So of
uh-huh.
course you completing passes against defense. They playing prevent. You
Yeah,
down 21-0.
yeah,
You down 35-10.
yeah, of course.
But when the
Yeah,
pressure laid on Daniel Jones and We had this conversation about guys like him, even though I think Dak Prescott is a way better player than him. Dak Prescott, guys like him, this guy here, you got situations where if my team isn't good around you, and Daniel Jones' team is actually good around him, but when the things aren't going great, can you stop the bleeding? Daniel Jones can't stop the bleeding. Once the team starts bleeding, he lets things hemorrhage. Same thing with in Dallas. When Dallas isn't good around Dak, Dak ain't good. Dak doesn't stop the bleeding. Dak can't stop a team from being 3-5. He can't do that. The
Mm-hmm.
elite quarterbacks are able to stop the bleeding. Not saying you got to win every game by yourself, but we brought up Josh Allen. Josh Allen is a blood stopper. Patrick Mahomes is a blood stopper. Lamar Jackson is a blood stopper. They don't let the situation turn into a hemorrhage. And these teams are paying these quarterbacks elite money that can't even pull you out of a tight squeeze. That's a huge problem. Now the Giants in the situation now, what you gonna do? Are you gonna be picking high enough to get the number one pick? And if you get the number one pick, do you want any of these quarterbacks that's in this class?
Yeah, it'd be in their best interest, of course. Yeah, to get one of these quarterbacks. Um, yeah, we get back to the Kansas City Denver game real quick. While Denver is a team, I'm on the I'm on the Broncos bandwagon, man. I think that they're a fringe playoff team in my opinion. I think they could go in there and win. I really do. I think they can beat Kansas City. It's a division game. I mean, they know each other inside and out. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they'll win the game, but I'm just saying 7.5 against Denver. I think they're gonna play with some pride this week. I don't see them. They're not gonna get blown out twice. Hopefully, I can say that. You know what I'm saying,
Thank you,
and still
Bruce.
keep my dignity. But yeah. So in that game, real quick, I think the over and under will go over, and I think Denver keeps it close, man. I don't think the Chiefs gonna win by 7.5. You know what I mean? I don't think they even beating people like that, but I like the Brown. I
Uh,
like Sean Payton he crazy enough to keep that offense going. He's done some good things. Bo Nix has been really good, man. In my opinion, I was a Bo Nix guy last year. You know what I'm saying? People kind of laughing at me. I remember vividly people was laughing, but he way better than a lot of teams. With the Giants would love Bo Nix at this point. You know what I'm saying?
oh
So
yeah, oh
you
yeah.
know, right? So
And
yeah,
they'll love Bo Callahan right now. If they can get him, boy.
yeah,
Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson.
Get
Uh,
any Bo over there, boy.
yeah,
But yeah,
yep.
they I think
Well,
Kansas City clears that 7.5.
mm,
Um, Denver, they've been tough. They've been scrappy. They still have too many issues, I think, defensively against Kansas City.
yeah,
Even though historically they've given Patrick Mahomes some problems, especially at Denver. They've given them some
hmm
problems, but I just think the Chiefs are just too good right now. Even though, like I get it, they're not blowing teams out. They playing just good enough to beat a lot of these teams, and then defensively they suffocate you.
right.
Spagnolia and that scheme suffocates you. And for a rookie quarterback going up against them right now, I'm not buying it. I take the Chiefs to win the game. Now, that 40 points, I don't know. I don't
I
know.
think
I don't
that's the
know
number right
because
there, boy. That's the number.
yeah, because I mean it's the divisional opponents. You talking about Sean Payton versus Andy Reid, two elite head coaches.
Yeah,
But that Chiefs defense is damn good, man.
yeah,
It's
they
damn
are.
good, and I
They're,
think it's
yeah,
very tough for a rookie quarterback going up against that team. And you're talking about doing it at Arrowhead right now.
yeah.
That
Don't it
that's a
feel
rough
like?
cover for me.
Don't it feel like the Lions got an easier path right now? It seemed like
Than the
because
Chiefs.
yeah, yeah. Because look at it, like the Lion. I don't feel if you want to say Philly a fake contender, you could say it. I don't think Philly can beat the Lions at all, either on either field, right?
No, I
I think
agree. I think they're a collection of talent. They not a
you know
football team.
I think the Rams got a better chance of beating us than Philly. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about it. But AFC, you look at it: Buffalo, Baltimore. say what you want. I think right now Lamar Jackson is the MVP. It's a close, you know, Lamar, Josh Allen, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, Jared Goff in the discussion, but right now Baltimore is playing good offensively. Them boys playing good, man. They really are. So, but what I'm saying is, I think AFC got Baltimore, they got Buffalo, they got Kansas City. You know, those are three teams right there that legitimately could cause some problems, win the Super Bowl. And I think the Lions don't really have that. I thought it was Green Bay, but now just seeing them how they beat them last week, I don't think the Packers can pose. Division, so they always can pose that threat. But when it comes down to it, I just think the Lions are clearly the best team in the NFC. You know what I'm saying? It's like in the AFC, you can
Oh
take
no,
your pick, but Lions,
it's not close.
yeah,
It's not close. Like I said, we
yeah,
give Philly the respect because Philly battle tested. They've been there before, but at the end of the day, they still don't play collectively well as a team.
yeah,
I brought it up a few days ago. Hurts still can't beat anybody from the pocket consistently. He wants to just constantly force the ball downfield. There's not a lot of time in routes with them. There's a lot of long developing plays for a quarterback that doesn't really survey the field all that well. And I'm not
yeah,
trying to kill the brother like that, but I'm
yeah,
just stating what we see.
yeah,
If you look at that Super Bowl against Kansas City, that was their best opportunity.
yeah,
And he played his ass off in that game, rushing the ball, throwing the football. He's been inconsistent at best since that Kansas City Chiefs loss. He wasn't good at all last season. And
yeah,
offensively, man, for them to have two number one wide receivers the way they got them, and to have Saquon Barkley, and they still sleepwalk through the first half of games. This team still struggles to crack 20 points. That's another reason why I can't take Philly that serious. But they got
yeah,
names, they got players. So when you got talent, you can always make plays and find yourself in a situation where you made enough plays to win games. But nah, Philly ain't built like us. They're a collection of talent. They're not a real football team. Their head coach is silly at best.
yeah,
It's just like, no, I can't believe in Philly either, man. I agree. I think the Rams, at the end of the day, they're probably the team in the end that could give us the
Mhm.
most problems. Maybe Atlanta, if Atlanta keeps gelling down the stretch. But let's get to these prop bets, man. Because I know everybody's interested in prop bets. This machine running a little right now. But we got some interesting prop bets today. First one we're gonna start out with JMO's back. You brought this up with this FanDuel or DraftKings.
DraftKings.
DraftKings, Jameson Williams, 70 plus receiving yards, plus 425. I'm taking that all day. JMO first game back. You said it yourself. JMO could clear that in one catch or two catches. You talking about plus 425.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. I because I just think that Jameson Williams got the big play factor. You know what I'm saying? You know, every time he touches the ball, it could be a touchdown, that type of thing. He's been out. So uh for me, I just think that this guy's a real threat, man. He's a real threat. You know what I'm saying? Every time he touches the ball, I think the what has happened the last two games has no bearing on, you know, the team mad at him and not going to throw the ball. I don't think that's the case at all. You know what I'm saying? I think this is a good bet right here. You know what I'm saying? Because you could say, well, maybe, you know, it's because I think the secondary for Houston is gonna be is the why I say that. You know what I'm saying? I think you agree
30th in
kind
the league in passing touchdowns
yeah,
given up.
so it's gonna be hell to pay, man. If you let him run free, and I think golf has shown that he'll find JMO. You know what I'm saying? Now I think he'll find him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not. We used to be worried. Could he get him the ball? Could he get him in the sweet spot? Could he get him in stride? Could he? You know, now Ben Johnson's been springing him open. You know, 10 yards down the field with that wicked slant play, pick play, whatever you call it. I like this bet, man. I think Jameson gonna have a huge game, coming out party sort of thing, like he did Monday night against Seattle game we was at. I think this is a big another national stage. I think
Yeah.
Jamo's, you know, he
We still
wants to.
waiting on that monster game for him. We got it from Gibbs.
Yep.
Remember, we have been saying since last year, like, man, y'all, as much as y'all like Jameer Gibbs, y'all haven't seen Alabama Jameer Gibbs yet. And we got to see Alabama Jameer Gibbs against Tennessee.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. Exactly. So yeah, I mean, you know, it's a situation where I would go that route. You know what I'm saying? If I was wanting to place a bet in this game, that's a good one right here. So,
Yep, I agree 100%. All right, let's get to these golf pass and props. You
oh
talking about
yeah,
275 yards plus 285. CJ Stroud, 3+ touchdown passes plus 550.
550,
Plus 550. That
Woo,
Stroud throws 3+.
that's tempting right there. I don't know, man. Woo, that's man. First, I'll just say something first. Okay, golf. He hasn't had the monster game yet. You know what I'm saying? Because he hasn't had to. He's been like the maestro, just like checking his phone while he playing, that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Waving to the fans in the press box, pointing as he's throwing another, touchdown. That type. He hasn't had to work hard. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm good with that. That shows that we total been in domination. Whoever in front of us, we've been chopping them down. So, but I think it is, JG can get off for he'll have a couple 300-yard games. It's been a while since he threw for 300 yards. So that's why this week, I think this is a perfect game for him to do it. We got too many weapons, man. Too many weapons, to not have a big game against this Houston defense that's injury riddled. So that's how I feel about that one. And then CJ Stroud, listen, I mean, this is a tough bet. We talked about this before the show. Like CJ Stroud, 3+ touchdowns, 550. That's a big time number right there. If you willing to do it, let's just say if it was me and my money in my hand, I don't know if I would take the bet because I don't know if he'll throw 3 touchdowns or it could be an over game. It could be where it'd be a shootout. What if it's a Stroud golf shootout type thing? You know what I'm saying? Where they both score 35,
The reason I don't think it's going to
Um,
happen, bro.
yeah. And I
The
think,
reason I don't think it's going to
Super
happen is
Random
because
just
you
said
talking
it.
about
He's right.
our defense.
Yep. That's a bait. Yeah. You yeah, that's right. That's
I
right.
I,
And I think
I
if you
agree.
we bait,
But the thing is, the reason I couldn't take it. No, go ahead.
what's that? No, no, no. I was just gonna say, just with random, just said that's a bait. That's a sucker bet a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because you look at like, oh man, 550. That's how just what I did when I seen it. But like you said, when you think about it and when you look at it, how we playing in the secondary, I think we would welcome CJ Stroud trying to dare us to throw the ball. You know what I mean? I think that would be like his worst nightmare if he tried to sit there and just air it out. You know what I mean? Without some key players being there. So um now, what was the and then how you feel
Can you
about
hear me?
golf this week? Yeah, I can hear you. Now, how you feel about golf this week? The plus
Yeah.
275. How you feel about that one?
Um, if we sticking with what the philosophy been for them
Uh-huh.
offensively, nah. Golf may
Yeah,
throw for 200, 220,
yeah,
something like that. I agree with the CJ Stroud comments. Just because if you're looking at Detroit defensively, against the pass, we're third in the league, touchdowns given
yeah,
up. I mean, we've given up the third least amount of passing touchdowns this season. And we're second in the league in interceptions.
yeah.
That's not a good elixir for Stroud to throw 3+ touchdowns. So anybody out there, whether you're a Lions fan, a Texans fan, personally, you can take that bet if you want. Sexy though.
Yeah, yeah, for
That
sure,
plus
for sure.
550 is real sexy, but I would definitely stay away. We can hit the first touchdown scored.
Yeah, oh man, oh boy. I think we've had some success with this one the last couple of weeks. I think the number last week, Walt, was combined. What was 150 yards plus for Gibbs and Montgomery together, and I think they had like 136 or something like that. So they didn't get the number last week, but I like this one. This is the first TD score of the game, the total game, and we know if the Lions get the ball, they usually run Montgomery that first series of the game. You know what I mean? So it's plus 425 for Gibbs, 450 for Montgomery, and then what's interesting is Joe Mixon in there, plus 500 for the Texans. You know what I'm saying? Which is possible. They could try to say, hey. What other teams are going to need to do against the Lions and try to slow the game down and try to run the football. I think that Tennessee would, that's their best path to victory, I think, because I don't even know if they can do that. As I don't think they can run the ball on us like that. You know what I mean? But they could get an early, quick touchdown. Just say they get the coin toss, go downfield, get a touchdown. And start to set the tone for the game. So I can see Mixon getting the first touchdown, and then we take it away from there. But yeah, absolutely. Montgomery and Gibbs, I would go with either one of those guys. More so Montgomery, I would circle him because he's the guy that sets the tone, just like they want to do with Joe Mixon. So,
Do you
good.
have St. Brown?
Yeah, St. Brown was plus 700. Man, that's
I would
crazy.
take that. I just think they're gonna throw the ball a little bit more lately. I mean, a little bit
Yeah,
more this game. As far as we talking about just that right there,
yeah,
St. Brown lately too, man. He's been on
yeah.
fire with golf. I could see them getting in the red zone and St. Brown getting that very first touchdown. We talking about
I didn't think
Mixon.
of that. Yeah,
Mixon
yeah,
has the ability to. I don't think that's gonna happen either. Mainly
yeah,
because they know they need to run the ball.
yeah,
They lead in the league in quarterback pressures giving up. Detroit knows they're gonna want to come out and run the football. I think we get back to stopping the run this year. Not this year, but this game. We remember since Hutchinson left, also, people have been talking about the lack of pass rush. The run defense has went to complete shit too since he's been out. But we getting some guys back along that front seven. I think we play better defensively against the run this game. And I do believe, like I said, I'll go with St. Brown. Plus 700. That plus 700 looks very tantalizing.
yeah.
Very
It do.
tantalizing, man.
It do. You see the money.
It's
You see
very
the money.
possible too. Listen, that plus 700 is more possible than I think Stroud throwing 3+ touchdowns.
Right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah,
It's
you absolutely right. While you hit
I'll
it, I
take the
thought about
plus
the same.
700.
There you
I'll
go.
take the
Hey,
I'll take the plus 700 on St. Brown to score the first touchdown of the game.
yeah, very good theory. You just said I didn't even think about it that way. Like because golf and St. Brown been so good. You know what I'm saying? They 30 for 30 in the last 30 targets. So you're right about that. So that was a good advice on that. So yeah, I can see that. I can absolutely see that scenario where St. Brown gets the ball, scores first touchdown. So
Yeah.
well, we want to close out this show today, man. You know what
Yes,
I'm
sir.
saying? You know, last thing I just want to say, I expect the Lions to win this game. You know what I mean? If Will Anderson was playing, I still would expect us to win. But I think that he does. He's making himself. We'll talk about Will Anderson into an impact player. I really do like Will Anderson a lot. I really do. My just opinion on the overall Texans as a whole. I had a different opinion on them last year. I thought that they would be a team that would really do some damage and like this year, I was saying the Lions and Texans were the teams I thought would be in the Super Bowl. But when your quarterback is running for your life like CJ Stroud is, you're gonna be in trouble, man. You know what I'm saying? He's not been the same quarterback. I think I read a stat where they've said he's already been sacked 30 times this year. You know what I'm saying? And it was 38 the whole season last year, something crazy like that. The interception total was up. I think he threw like way more uh, at this rate, he's throwing way more than he did last year. So I just think they play into what the Lions want to do offensively and defense. They can't stop us running the ball, I don't think. And like you said, I don't think the secondary is that great. I think the Lions have a field day. You know what I'm saying? Passing the ball. So
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, not to be disrespectful to the Houston
yeah,
Texans or Houston
right.
Texan fans who may be watching.
Yeah.
If granted we have our injuries, but if your team was healthier at the right spots, then I think we have a completely different story. But
Hmm.
when you're talking about your second year quarterbacks, offensive line isn't helping them.
Yeah.
Joe Mixon's doing all he can, the best he can. The passing game is struggling. Your top two wide receivers are both injured right now.
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs is gone for the season with an ACL. Like things just aren't going good for Houston right now. And they playing the hottest team in football right now in the Detroit Lions. So I just think it's a recipe for a bad loss for Houston. Now, Houston at home, primetime game. Can things happen? Of course, it's the NFL. Any given Sunday, a team can the better team can show up and play bad, and the home team can win. But I don't see it happening. I had a blowout against Tennessee. I thought we would beat Green Bay by 4. I had 24-20. It turned out to be 24-14. this game right here to me, like the entire recipe for it just spells huge Lion victory.
Yeah.
Myself, like I said, I got the Lions winning outright. I got them covering that 3.5,
Oh yeah.
and I will take the over under 48.5. I will take the over.
Yeah.
So, all right, man, we are done with these people this morning. I want to thank everybody for joining in. Bruce, BJ, what's going on with you, man? I appreciate you joining us.
Yes.
I know you a gambler, man.
Mm.
Tune in every Sunday. I mean, every Sunday, but every Saturday morning because we cover these games. We cover the Lions game from a betting standpoint. We also cover 2 bonus games every Saturday morning from a gambling standpoint. We try to break down both games to the best of our ability and our knowledge. And like I said, I want to thank everybody for joining us. One Pride.